Santosh. The debut film by Sandhya Suri unfolds with the death of an on-duty police officer in a riot-like situation in a Uttar Pradesh suburb. Not sure if that reminds you of any such news in the recent times or in the recent past. Maybe it does, or maybe it does not. As this news and many similar might be fuzzy for many of us. With so much information at the tip of our fingers, so many stories are a blur. So many deaths are a statistic. So much of poverty is just an indicator. Extensive social ostracization is just a byproduct of demographic dividend. However, Santosh is not just another story which you can forget and move on with your life, as it dissects India's societal realities and complexities with such honesty and brutal gaze as rarely seen in Hindi cinema. It goes for a raw yet subtle portrayal of violence, marginalization, and the ironies embedded in India's socio-political fabric which one has to encounter every day. The violence in Santosh is not on your face as you would find in a movie like Kill, but it is far more brutal in the ways it affects you. The nonchalance of it, the regularity of it. It feels like the normalization of a hammer being hit on your head. The film is a grim reminder of how systemic injustices plague everyday life, depicted in every frame. And then you wonder why it took a foreign production to tell a story that is so ingrained in rural India. Santosh is a co-production between the United Kingdom, India, Germany and France, which premiered at the 77 Cannes Film Festival in the Uncertain Regards section to widespread acclaim, and is the official UK entry in the Best International Feature Film category at the 97th Academy Awards. Through its brave narrative, Santosh takes you back to the old-school great Hindi cinema portrayed in Govind Nilani's Akrosh or Ardh Satya, or say a decade back in Kanu Bail's critically acclaimed Titli, standing in stark contrast to the glossy, superficial storytelling of mainstream Hindi cinema. As stated, Santosh thrives on violence, an omnipresent vibe in each of its frames, even the apparently regular ones. The film meticulously captures how vehemence permeates every aspect of life in India. Within homes, it is the patriarchal dominance that stifles individuality and agency. In workplaces, particularly the male-dominated police force where Santosh works, misogyny and casteism reign supreme. Even in spaces meant for camaraderie, like shops and festivals, the power dynamics of caste, gender and religion are unmissable. Santosh, a police constable who got the job for her dead husband, is sucked into the power dynamics she is entirely unprepared for. In her khakis for almost the entire film, Santosh's silence and her slow but certain succumbing to small violences, leading to bigger ones, is no short of a horror show if you have the right sensibilities. Starting as an outsider, the brutalization of Santosh happens like a slow burn right in front of your eyes. Small injustices, ignorable corruption, you think. The kind of small things which we all do when dealing with Indian police, but which, as the film shows us, has far greater ramifications. Within this rather harmless low-level corruption lies more sinister possibilities waiting like a ticking time bomb. The perpetuation of violence through the woman who herself is a victim is a difficult pill to swallow. What makes Santosh particularly striking is its depiction of the marginal of India. The woman, the Dalit, and the Muslim. The film does not offer a simplistic portrayal of victimhood, but instead shows how these marginalized groups are often forced to feed upon each other to maintain relevance and mere survival. This creates a haunting irony. The oppressed become complicit in the cycle of oppression, highlighting the systemic nature of their plight. Guess what? We get access to the real villains only for a few scenes near the end. Santosh and the entire ecosystem does not even get to touch them in Suri's raw depiction, as often in real life. And there lies one of the most poignant themes of the film, the irony surrounding the concept of justice. Santosh and her fellow policewomen are celebrated for their achievements within a corrupt and unjust system. Their victories, however, come at the expense of another marginalized individual. The grim state of justice is laid bare as extrajudicial actions are celebrated. You, as the audience, are so perplexed at the complexities at play here that it becomes too much to take. You see a woman helping another woman in investigating the murder of a lower caste Dalit girl and search for hope. But all you get is a shocking reality check. Therein lies the brilliance of Sandhya Suri as she looks at you, inside your own upper class sensibilities, and how it affects your actions, your truths, your realities, how it makes you the man or the woman you are. The film masterfully shows how in the struggle for survival, everyone is a mere pawn or a symbol for something else. The central idea which we carry is not to cure the disease, but to ensure that the disease remains hidden from the patient. This complex interplay of marginalization and irony underscores the film's central message. The mystery of the murder Santosh investigates is merely a vehicle for exploring the deeper, more entrenched issues within Indian society. The mere plot and premise of the film, while the point lies somewhere else, in the normalization of a cycle to which all of us have somehow endorsed. Santosh is currently facing challenges to release in India due to reasons which are not hidden to anyone. The Central Board of Film Certification blocked its release, citing concerns over its portrayal of the police. We hope that Santosh does eventually get a release, if not in theatres, then at least on an OTT platform. More power to you, Sandhya Suri. That is all from us today. Thank you for watching. If you like our content, please consider subscribing.